You're saying in an abusive marriage,
Yeah.
they can only separate but they can't divorce in Christianity.
I'm not saying that. I'm seeing that. I see that it should be a separation rather than a divorce, because it is written that for adultery alone,
Yes, that's the only exception
the adultery.
under which you can get divorce.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's
yeah.
in the
From
gospel.
Bible.
That's in the Gospel of Matthew.
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in an abusive marriage, where let's say the husband abuses, that means beats her or
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
is, black and blue,
Yeah.
every other day.
Yeah.
You're saying the only option is for her to separate but not to divorce,
I believe so. I believe
Okay.
marriage is for life, according to the
which
Bible.
means that she cannot get now married to someone else.
She can't until if she knows that her partner is committed adultery. Then
No, I'm not
she's-
talking about adultery. I'm talking about abuse here.
No,
Because adultery,
I
you're
don't
allowed to
believe
get
so.
divorced.
I don't believe so.
So
And
let's say,
you would like your daughter?
No, wait,
to-
brother, wait.
sister to live like that?
so what if she's young? What she's young
Exactly.
and she happens to be in this situation
Yeah.
where she has unfortunately
Chose the wrong man.
No, she chose the right man.
But it changed.
But
as you
he
said.
changed, yeah. Let's say he falls into bad company,
Yeah.
starts taking drugs or becomes an alcoholic,
Yeah.
and then abuses his wife every single day, and she cannot bear this anymore. And because her religion will not permit her to get divorced, you're saying the only option available to her is to separate, but then she has to go through life without being married.
I believe so. Yes.
How is that fair?
It doesn't sound fair at all. But remember, I'm going by.
Do you believe God is unjust?
No, he's not unjust. He's
Don't you
just.
think this is injustice to that woman when it's not her fault? Your cousin shaking her hand.
No,
She's saying yes.
no. I don't think it's. I don't think it's right. I think that separation again is what God desires. Separate. Hopefully, there can
Divorce
be
was
reform.
permitted in the Old Testament.
What was? Yeah,
Divorce.
was. Yeah.
So God did desire divorce at one stage.
Well, he didn't desire it. It was because of the problems that mankind was facing. Put it this way.
Well, he
God-
permitted it.
He permitted it, but he didn't desire it.
Are you
There's a
saying God
difference.
would do anything he doesn't desire? God
Say-
doesn't do anything that he does not desire.
No.
He does everything because he desires it.
No. What I'm saying is, God has never desired any divorce. That's from what I understand.
Okay, so here's how the Muslims see. So in the
Okay.
Quran, Allah has permitted divorce,
Yeah.
but then there is actually, I believe it's a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, the only thing which Allah has permitted,
Yeah.
which he doesn't like,
Yeah.
yes, is divorce.
But I believe that. That's what I believe that the Bible teaches.
So but the thing is, Allah has given this what do you say, option
Yeah.
for the woman to not only separate but to actually divorce
So that
from
she
the
can
husband,
have somebody else.
so she can then lead a life with a man of her choosing who is normal, to have children, to have a family life. But in Christianity, she's completely cut off then. Not only the fact she's been punished twice. One is the fact that her husband has mistreated her. So she's obviously not punished by God in that case, but punished by the husband. But then she's punished by the religious text, which does not give her the option to remarry to a man who is desirable, who is a family man, and she can actually have children and live a happily married life.
Well, this again. What I'm saying is, I don't believe that God desires anybody to be in that situation. However, because of choices we make, and that's why before we get to a point where we are getting married, there is a process that needs to take place so that the man and the woman know for sure by the time they say I do, that they know each other already. They know what this person is like. And that doesn't guarantee that the partner is going to stay the same in the future.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I believe that God...
So because of this uncertainty,
Yeah.
I think there has to be an option
Yeah.
for not only the woman to get divorced, but to lead a life. Because I think the same passage which forbids divorce in the
Yeah.
Bible
Yes.
also says that those who remarry a divorcee
Yeah.
is committing adultery.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
So this is a double, what do you say, it's like a double jeopardy for her. The fact that she got divorced, she's upset about that.
Yeah.
The fact that she was getting abused, she was upset about that.
Yeah.
But the fact that she cannot even remarry again
Yes.
and lead a normal married life
Yes.
is itself like, it's a sentence. It's a life sentence now
It is
for her.
not. It is not a sentence because.
It is. Look at it from any angle.
No.
bro.
I see what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I see that. In that sense, yes. But remember, oftentimes a man
Mm-hmm.
who does that, he actually also moves on. He's going to get somebody else.
Can he marry? Can the man marry?
No, he can't.
Exactly.
He can't
So
marry.
it's for them both.
It's for them both.
Yeah. So the man cannot remarry.
Yeah.
The man cannot divorce. The woman cannot divorce and remarry.
Yeah.
So for both of them in the society, you will end up with people who commit adultery then. Because for them, that it seems like that is the only loophole to get divorced.
Okay, so I don't
You
like
see what
to
I mean?
look at, I don't like, look, I'm going to go by what I see. If it
I
does
know,
not
you're going by
understand-
the text. I totally understand.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm asking you to look at it from
Yeah.
a social, what do you say, from the society's perspective.
Yeah.
Where you have a lot of people. Trust me, when you go to your church, you'll see a lot of divorcees.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Even though I very much doubt all of them committed adultery.
I agree with you.
Yes.
I know that.
So this is what I'm saying. In Christianity, you're forced to get divorce based on not because the religion won't permit you.
Yeah.
So they have to take the liberal secular courts
Yes.
who will permit them this divorce.
Okay, so can you just stop there and let me
Yeah,
just touch
sure.
on some things.
Okay, go on.
I mentioned courtship. Courtship precedes marriage. Courtship is very essential in Christianity so that people...
What is courtship?
Courtship is a man and a woman coming
I
together.
mean, from the Bible's perspective. I know
Okay.
what it is from the society's perspective.
Okay.
Dating them and so on.
So
What
yeah.
is it? What is courtship in the Christian faith?
Okay, I believe courtship is when a man and a woman comes together, but not in marriage, but in preparation for marriage. So let's say, for example, we've been attending the same church. You've got a daughter, I've got a son,
Yeah.
and we've grown up together, and we can see that they are compatible. We can see that they're faithful to their beliefs. They may not be perfect, but we can see that there is a
That's
there's a
not
union.
courtship.
No, I'm saying
That sounds like an arranged marriage to me.
No, it's not an arranged marriage. Listen, what I'm saying
Anyone
is,
who heard that, they'll say it's an arranged marriage.
No,
when
no.
the parents look at the background of the of the potential son-in-law or daughter-in-law, that is an arranged
okay,
marriage.
let me stop you there and let me just
I was talking
remind-
about courtship.
No. Let me go back to what I'm saying.
Yeah, go on.
In the Bible, Abraham had a son. His name was Isaac. Isaac did not choose his own wife. Abraham sent, according to the Bible.
That's why we call it
Abraham
an
sent-
arranged marriage.
Okay, so arranged marriage. Okay, you say that. But anyway, I'm explaining the courtship process. The courtship process is understanding clearly that the two who are coming together, that they are compatible.
Okay.
It's not just, oh, I see that person, she looks beautiful, I like her because of that. No, it's not about that.
Okay.
There's
Are they allowed to date?
So we don't look at dating as in the world, the way the world is looking at it. We're going to go to watch a movie together and then see how we... No.
So what do you do in courtship other than the parents and you checking the background of the potential spouse?
Okay, so they're going to spend time together, getting to know each other, of course.
Okay.
And obviously it's going to be like...
Isn't that what they do on a date?
Okay, they're going to... But listen, really on a date in terms of society
Your cousin is
today-
struggling now.
No.
And she knows it.
In terms of society today,
Yeah.
dating is like, we go out and it's about the man is thinking, how am I going to get the woman? It's not really about...
But that's the reason I asked you, from
Yeah.
a Christian perspective,
Yeah.
what do you see courtship as? Because to me, courtship itself, the definition,
Yeah.
it's pretty much what dating is today.
Okay, you can say dating, but really we refer to it as
Are you
courtship.
talking about courtship from the Bible? It's not from the Bible, is it?
Look, the principles are found in the Bible. The
Yeah, of an
principles.
arranged marriage, I agree, but not courtship.
Okay, anyway, you can call it that, but
No,
let's,
but I'm
let's not
asking
deal.
you.
Let's not deal
Because when
with
you
that.
say, when you actually started with, according to what I believe,
Yeah.
that was the red flag already. I wanted to stop you there, but I wanted to
Okay,
let you
but-
finish.
But really, you're
but you
dealing
see
with
this,
semantics now.
No.
Yes.
I'm dealing with what is God's law
Yeah.
and what is my own personal opinion.
Okay, so now let me tell you then.
Okay.
I believe that it's biblical that...
You believe or you know?
Okay, Hashim, come on, let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so I'm going to start again. In today's time, oftentimes men are choosing women or women are choosing men based on their appearance, mainly. Or even...
There's nothing wrong in that, is there?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Alhamdulillah.
There's nothing
You know,
wrong
the
with that.
first thing that attracts people is the looks. It
Okay,
does.
but let me quote from the Bible
But that
now.
shouldn't be the main reason
Let-
to marry, I agree.
Let me quote from the Bible now. There's something more precious to God than just the looks. It's the character. And so we're looking at it's the character that is playing a part, an essential part.
Yeah.
Because if you have a daughter and I have a son, and you want your daughter to marry my son, and yet
She has to become a Muslim.
and yet you see me, my son is behaving or conducting himself in a way that is not according to the way of God, then you're going to say, you're going to have reservations. This is what I'm saying.
I agree.
So
Look,
the
you-
preparation stage,
In Islam, it's the same. You look at obviously the physical beauty, you look at
Yeah.
the character, you look at her religiosity, you look at even her what do you say, her line, the lineage she comes from.
Yes.
So all these play an important role.
Yeah.
But we don't have anything called
You have a choice.
what you would.
Choose the best one is the lineage. So you can choose from the other ones that you mentioned. So it doesn't mean statistically that.
Yeah, so these are the options you have. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the Prophet ﷺ told us that look at the religiosity.
Okay.
So these are good. What is
Yeah.
the things? But the thing which takes precedence
Yeah.
is how pious she is.
Okay.
In terms of her
Okay, so
righteousness.
that's very similar to,
Yeah.
to us. However,
So
there's practical things though.
Yeah.
There's practical things. So for example, we believe, for example, if I were to say, how does your daughter treat you and your wife? Because
Yeah.
it's your daughter. You understand? How is
The
she,
character.
How is she in relation to can she run a home? Can she cook? Can she clean? Can she run a home? Or is she like modern day women where, and I'm sorry, there's many who will become offended.
I know you
They
can
can't-
apologize to the feminists.
they
That's
can't,
okay.
They can't iron, they can't cook, they can't clean. They're not marriage material, really, because they haven't got education to run a household. Because when you get married, you're forming a home. You understand what I'm saying? Is that true or no? So there's things that you're looking for.
It is true, but
practically.
you see, in Islam, these
Yeah.
things, it doesn't say that these things are only done by
Yeah.
women, but what we say is that the men and women, they complete each other.
Yeah.
We don't see a relationship in a marriage between
Yeah.
a man and a woman
Yeah.
as a competition.
Of course.
Yes, so we obviously the Quran specifies and stipulates certain mandatory rights of the man and of that woman. For example, the financial responsibility falls entirely on the man. So it doesn't matter how rich your wife is,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how much she earns
Yeah.
or doesn't earn,
Yeah.
it will always remain the husband's responsibility to look after her and the family financially
Can
all
I
the
stop
time.
you there and ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
So are you saying today, are there couples today who are Muslim in Islam
Yeah.
where the husband maybe have fallen on bad times, he hasn't worked for 3 years,
Yeah.
the wife is working, are you saying that's wrong? Or what would you say to that? Because
What I-
that's the
what I
society
would,
we live
What I would say to that is that even in that situation, the husband still has to make the effort to support his wife financially.
Okay.
However, that doesn't mean that the wife cannot help the
Okay.
husband
Okay.
if she could financially.
Okay.
There's nothing stopping her.
Yes.
But in the case of the wife,
Yes.
it is optional.
Yeah.
In the case of the man, it's always mandatory.
Okay, marriage. Oh, and this is what I believe is a biblical concept.
Yeah.
Because when the stage before marriage takes place,
Yeah.
the fathers, the mother and father of the daughter in particular, are trying to make sure that the man who's going to take their daughter is able to provide, is able
Yeah,
to
of course.
sustain
Yeah.
in the long term. So really, does he have an education? Is he hardworking? Is he going to be able to look after my daughter when he takes my daughter from me? These are things that the parents would consider. I believe in Christianity before they say I do and they
Yeah.
come together. You understand what I'm saying?
But did you get that from the Bible, though?
The principles, yes.
What the Bible actually says?
No. The principles.
All those things you just said. I
The
doubt it very much.
principles. The principles.
The thing which it says, which we were discussing about
Yeah.
earlier, which we have kind of moved
Yeah.
away from, was the divorce thing.
Okay.
You know, look, anyone who looks at that situation of this poor wife who's getting abused by her husband,
Yeah.
saying she deserves a divorce,
Yes.
because that's the only way she can lead a normal married life with somebody else who
Yes.
is more desirable. The fact that the religion, Christianity, has kind of shackled her into remaining as a separated spouse rather than a divorced ex-wife, yes, is problematic now because she can never get married again. And I'm talking about a young woman who got divorced, who got separated from her husband because of this unfortunate situation where he's been abusive.
Okay.
I think it's very unfair to her
Okay.
to lead a life of a separated spouse rather than
Okay,
a
can I
married
touch on
wife.
that? Can
yeah,
I touch
sure,
on
sure.
that?
Yeah.
First, I just want to make it clear that when a woman is in an abusive relationship,
Yeah.
never should she, according to God's word, according to what I believe, never should she be forced to stay there. So I'm not condoning abuse, and the woman should just sit there and take it. No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
However,
no, they allow separation, like you
the
said.
separation, but more
Yeah.
than that, I believe the only grounds for divorce, myself, and what the Bible says is adultery. Now let me just finish. Adultery. However, I believe that God, who is almighty and who is loving and kind and caring toward his creatures, the ones he created, I believe he is able, and he's able to provide, obviously in case the man has committed adultery himself, he's able to provide another partner for the woman. You understand what I'm saying?
No, look, adultery we have already agreed
Yeah.
that Christianity permits divorce on those grounds of
Yes,
adultery.
yeah.
But we are not talking about adultery here.
Yeah.
We are talking everything other than adultery. And most of the divorces that take place are not really necessarily from adultery. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
The fact that Christianity does not even permit this young woman to
Yeah.
remarry to someone and lead a married life,
Yeah.
it's very unjust to that woman
Okay.
and her family.
I think-
Sorry, you want to say something?
I think we
I
can.
want to ask, how do you define adultery?
Adultery, like if you're married and you sleep with somebody other than your spouse.
Marriage is a sexual contract. Would you agree? Because the
No, I don't think it's only a sexual
not
contract.
only, but the differentiation between a
Yeah.
friendship and a marriage is primarily that difference.
See again? The
Like
principle.
we can be friends, we can live together. It wouldn't be a marriage.
Yeah, we are not talking about the same-sex marriage.
So marriage, what differentiates a friendship from a marriage
Yeah.
is usually the sexual relations.
No. That's where I disagree with you.
Not in all cases, but
It's-
generally.
The main thing which differentiates the two is the responsibilities that comes with it. Because when you are married to someone, then you are committed. So when you become a father or you become a mother, yes, then it is your responsibility. The children are now the responsibility of both of you. See what I mean?
Yes.
So it's not just sex. You can have sex and you can have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and they can have sex. What does that mean? They're not married.
Married with house.
A marriage is for life, like you said earlier, which I agree with you.
No, I agree. The
Yeah.
point I'm trying to make is that adultery is not just stepping out of your marriage. It's
No.
not just stepping out of
Adultery
your
is cheating with your spouse.
Huh?
Adultery is cheating with your spouse.
It's broader than that. It's not just sleeping with somebody else.
What else is adultery?
Because Jesus said you can commit adultery in your mind.
Oh, you're talking about metaphorical. I thought she was literal.
No. Yeah, looking at somebody.
Yeah. So look, there are metaphorical
I told
ways.
this gentleman,
Yeah.
What if your wife says to you, I'm not sleeping with you ever again.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
But
That's adultery.
Yeah.
Because you've covenanted to share yourself with another human being.
commitment.
You've
That's what I
committed
said,
that.
isn't it?
So
Yeah.
adultery is broader than just when you're committing to marry someone and you fail to like you said, it's all those responsibilities. You are committing adultery because you're failing to give to your spouse what you vowed to God. I promise I will give this man my time, my dreams. I will support him in his hopes. When you fail,
It's all commitment,
you
which is what I said.
you are committing adultery.
No. All this comes on.
Adultery is not just
Yeah.
sleeping with another man.
Yeah, but
More than that.
what is the point of
Because the
this?
responsibility of a marriage
Yeah.
is what you said.
Yeah.
When you fail to give your partner that, you are committing adultery and you are in breach of contract. A wife or a husband has the right to
No, but I don't look. We both agree.
So
We
the
agree.
point
So there's
she's
no
making-
there's no disagreement there.
So
What
the
I was
point you're
talking
making-
about is the unfair treatment of a woman, yes, who got married for good reasons. The husband was, let's say, good when she said I do, and so was the wife. But later on, he changed. Now, what I'm saying is that, do you think it is fair to hold her in the shackles of marriage, even when she separates, she cannot remarry, from a Christian perspective?
Because
You say no, right?
I say no.
Okay.
Because that man is being adulterous.
Exactly. He's the one at
Any
fault.
partner can be adulterous. Any partner
Yeah.
who is failing to comply with the responsibilities, with the vows. You
Yeah.
don't want to take care of your children. That's adultery.
Yeah, so there are many. Yeah.
You don't want to
You know,
contribute in your marriage.
interestingly, all this in Islam, in Islam, all these things will be valid reason for divorce. But in Christianity, these are not valid reasons for divorce. The only reason, no, you can't say it is because the Bible says otherwise, and you'll agree with me. The only grounds on which you can get divorced in the Bible is adultery. Like literal, I'm not talking about those metaphorical adultery, I'm talking about literal adultery. Is that right?
But hold on a second. If you say because you can't say that because if Jesus defined adultery as looking at a woman lustfully, that's adultery. He said whoever looks at a woman has already. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So you're saying that if either the husband or the wife looks at somebody as somebody else with lust, then they should separate?
No, then you're guilty of committing adultery in the sight of God. Look, your spouse is going to fail you.
So you're giving more reasons why they should not divorce, basically.
No, I'm saying
I know what you're saying. You're saying if someone looks at somebody lustfully, that is adultery according to you. And look, in Islam that is a sin, but I don't think it'll form the grounds for divorce.
It doesn't. And Jesus said, even adultery is for the hardness of your heart.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
At all
saying.
costs, you should fight to save your marriage for the sake of your children, for the sake of yourself and your spouse.
Yeah.
You should fight to save that marriage. But if you're in a situation where you've tried everything, and look, you and I know in Western society, people are getting divorced for nothing.
Yeah.
I just don't like him today.
Yeah. Left, right, and center. Yeah.
We've divorced after 90 days, less 30.
Yeah.
You know? But in the sight of God,
Yeah.
He will hold you accountable because a marriage is binding.
I know. Look, marriage is sacred. Marriage is sacred. But what I'm saying is that, at least in Islam, we have a real life solution, where if the husband was breaking these rules, and let's say all those other things which which constitute adultery, the husband was breaking all these rules, yes. But the thing is, they still can't get divorced. That is the problem. Do you understand?
Well, you're saying that that's not applicable to Christianity, and I disagree because the way you've defined adultery is incorrect.
No, I said even using your definition of adultery, we're looking at someone lustfully. So you're saying that if a husband looks at somebody lustfully, let me ask you this straight. He's not committing physical adultery, that means not sleeping with the other than his wife. If he just looks at someone lustfully, are you saying that is a valid grounds for divorce? Exactly my point. So that's what I'm saying. In a real life situation, if the husband is abusing the wife, let's say using any of those definitions which you gave, let's say he's abusing her by looking at somebody else lustfully, or literally committing adultery by sex with somebody other than his wife, yes, then on what grounds should she get divorced? The only grounds is if he commits literal adultery. That means he has sex with somebody other than his wife. What is the grounds on which a Christian woman can get divorced and marry somebody else and lead a proper married life? What is the grounds of divorce?
It's really difficult to prove what's going on in your mind. So you can be lusting at any woman right now, and there's no way I can.
Yeah, only God can judge. Yeah.
And even adultery, sometimes it's really hard to prove.
But we are not looking for exceptions to the rule.
Why do you make it that you are accountable to other people
Say again?
when you should?
I agree.
We are only accountable to God.
No. Hold
You
on.
are
The
gonna
question.
be in the judgment. You will be held guilty.
Yeah.
Or I'll be held guilty. If I
Day of judgment, God is going to judge us all. No doubt about that. But I'm not asking about that.
So you can't
I'm
be
asking.
judged by your religion or your faith.
I'm
You're
asking
judged by
about the
one
real life in society, and you know there are valid reasons for divorce other than adultery. You know there are real reasons other than adultery. I'm asking why does Christianity only limit it to adultery and not other valid reasons for adultery? Sorry, for divorce. It does. Ask him. Do you want to tell her?
It's just that we no. The
No.
way the Bible.
Have you got the Bible on you?
I do have.
Open the Gospel Matthew. I think it's Matthew 15.
Okay, but
Yeah,
why?
you
We
know
know
that
the
that
scripture.
word
We know the
is
scripture.
defined-
No, because she's saying it doesn't say that. That's why I'm saying the Bible does say that,
Okay.
Yes.
So
Except for divorce. I mean,
except for adultery.
but
But
define adultery. How
but-
does the Bible define adultery?
Look.
Other places.
Hold on a
I
second.
agree. I've already heard you. I'm saying there are other definitions of adultery, like looking at a woman lustfully. But when I asked you clearly that would that be grounds for divorce, and you said no.
Hashim,
So
I
you
think,
can't play it both ways.
No.
Hashim, I think
Because there's a difference between being wrong in your marriage, and I'm sure you have failed your wife.
No. I'm asking what is the grounds for divorce. That's all I'm asking. Simple question. In Islam, we have specific grounds on which you can get divorced. For example, like I told you, the husband has to provide for the wife financially. If he stops doing that, the wife
divorced.
can actually go to the court and get a divorce.
So the Bible says that.
Does it?
The Bible says if you do not provide for your family, you are worse than an infidel.
But can she get divorced for that?
Yes.
sorry.
Where
one
does it
second.
say that? I really would like to see this because you're the first one to say this. The reason many churches don't allow divorce, yes, is because what the Bible says.
But I don't know.
You might be of a liberal mind.
But do you not
Hashim.
think that,
Yeah.
Hashim, don't you think
What's
that
your name?
that's where humanity goes wrong?
Yeah.
Where we fail to be accountable to God. And we look to our brothers and sisters and say, oh, I can't get divorced because you're looking at me, No. Answer to God alone. If your husband is not treating you right,
But
you
I'm
can't just willy-nilly get divorced.
no,
and
but
you
I
answer
agree.
to
I agree.
God.
There has to be valid reasons for
Yeah,
divorce.
this is it. It's
That's
a
the
fight.
reason I keep asking you in Christianity,
You
what is a
cannot
valid reason?
prove that.
Because what you said is not in the Bible actually, and he can back me up for that.
Does the
Okay,
Bible not say
okay.
that?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I think.
Sorry, what's your
Erlene-
name? Helly?
Early.
Early.
I think what Erlene said a moment ago
Erlene,
is
sorry,
is
Erlene.
valid in the sense of a marriage is a binding for life in the sight of God.
I agree, yeah.
So when issues arise, it's not just like modern society today saying, okay, we're going to separate. No, there's a fight and a struggle. Why? Because the union was formed in the sight of God, and even in the sight of men, it was a union that was supposed to be for life. So it's not just something we're going to break up very easily. I believe what we've seen and what you mentioned is
The question is not whether it's easy divorce or hard divorce.
adultery.
On what grounds is it permitted?
Adultery.
Only.
Adultery is the only thing I've seen in the Bible.
There you go. So it's not
That-
for not providing for the wife, like you said. That is not in the Bible.
That is adultery.
No, no, no. Not providing for the wife. How is that adultery?
Okay,
But Hashim, why do you define the word adultery in the Bible as only what happens in the bedroom?
No, no, no. I said looking lustfully is adultery as well. But it doesn't say, Jesus at no point says, if the husband doesn't provide for the wife, it's adultery.
He does.
Where?
He says you are worse than an infidel. And he tells us not to be equally yoked with an infidel.
No, no. When you're worse than the infidel, that means what? You left Christianity?
No.
You can't have it both ways. I'm sorry to say this. There are specific grounds on which you can get divorced.
Adultery is too narrow.
No, it's
And
not. In fact, I
what the
agreed
Bible-
with your broad definition. I agreed with
That's
it.
not what the Bible says.
The Bible does say looking lustfully is adultery. Okay? But it does not say not providing for the wife is adultery. That's your definition. No, in fact, you agreed. You said that this is worse than an infidel.
So?
So being worse than
Does the Bible-
an infidel means someone who is not a Christian.
But does the Bible prohibit marriage to infidels?
Yes, it does.
Exactly.
What has that got to do with divorce? You need to be married first. You're saying marriage itself is prohibited. But I'm saying in Christianity, marriage is permitted. And I'm talking about two Christians. Two Christians get married. One of them abuses the other. Yes? Does his abuse make him a non-Christian?
no.
Because he
Oh, you're saying no, you're saying yes.
Because he's
I don't know which
failing.
one to believe now.
He's
Yeah,
failing
no,
to keep his part of the covenant.
No, no. Does it make him a non-Christian?
No.
There you go.
Look, but besides
So
that,
we are
Hashim,
talking about two Christians.
So Muslims
Can they
don't
get
make
divorced?
mistakes?
No, no.
Muslims
Look,
don't
look. Making mistakes is a sin. I agree.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not asking you whether.
But you don't stop being a Muslim because you make mistakes.
Yeah, but that's why I asked you.
Same.
So when you're
Christianity-
talking about, when you gave me the example of can you get married to an infidel, you're talking about a non-Christian. Am I right?
Yeah,
We're not talking about a sinning
yes,
Christian.
Hashim, you said two Christians coming together. That's
Yes.
what you said. However, now Hashim,
Your
look,
example is between a Christian and a non-Christian. That union is not permitted.
Hashim,
I agree.
I just want to summarize something very quickly.
Yeah, go on.
Because I think time is going.
Yeah. Time is always going.
Whenever we talk about divorce, it's never something that the true Christian will make a decision easily. I'm just going to get
It's the
divorced.
same in Islam.
But that's what I'm
Are
saying.
you saying that it's just simple thing to get divorced? No, it's
no,
not.
no, no. It's not a simple thing. It's a
Yeah.
process that is going on in the home where there's obviously been a separation between the man and woman. There's obviously been issues, and there may even been adultery. So there's issues that is going on by the time people sign. True Christians. I'm not talking about people who are just saying, okay, you burnt my toast, I'm going to get divorced. No, I'm saying people.
No,
who
there has to be a valid reason.
Okay, so
I've maintained this throughout the discussion.
okay, so now the
I'm
valid
asking,
reason
the valid
is-
reason in Christianity to get divorced is what, other than adultery?
I believe it's adultery.
There you go. So that's the only option.
But remember
I'm sorry to
something,
say
Hashim.
this.
But
That's your cousin.
But remember,
You need to define adultery correctly.
But listen,
Even the broader definition of adultery does not include not providing for the wife.
Hashim, just one thing quickly.
Yeah.
Adultery, let's look at a man and a woman, even Christians or Muslims, they could be married for 10, 15 years. Adultery can happen suddenly, but there could be other issues that are taking place in the home. You understand what I'm saying? In a Christian home, you could have couples that don't really care for each other. The husband doesn't care for the wife. He's not providing for the wife. He's not doing anything for the wife. So already there's a separation going on there.
There is a tension, I agree.
There's tension. So
But the
what I'm saying
question is still, is there grounds other than adultery? And every time I asked you this question, you said no. So why are you trying to now justify?
I'm not justifying anything.
Okay, no, you're trying to justify, because to me this seems very unfair on the wife. Yes, if she cannot get divorced
Okay.
under valid reasons, which every society, even a non-Christian society, like this secular liberal society that we live in,
Yeah.
yes, even they would not only find it a grounds for divorce, but probably the husband can get persecuted for that.
But we as Christians are
Sorry,
not,
prosecuted for that,
But we as-
because he's abusing his wife.
But is that due to incorrect interpretation of what the scripture is saying?
and not only that, hold on
It's
a
not
second.
about interpretation.
And not only that,
Yeah.
remember, we're not basing our faith on what the society is teaching. We're basing
I know
our
you're
faith
not.
on
That's
what
why I
God
asked you the
wants us to
Bible.
do. But this is what I'm
That's why
saying.
I kept asking you, what is the valid reason in Christianity for the grounds of adultery? And like I said, every time I asked you this question, you
Adultery?
said adultery.
Adultery number
You
one?
gave a definition, a broader definition of adultery, and even including the broader definition of adultery, which doesn't actually include not providing for the wife, which doesn't include, it does? Oh, he's saying no.
Hold on a second. Listen, I'm going to stop. I'm going to have to go now. But listen, before I go, adultery, Erlene mentioned something a moment ago. When Jesus made that statement in Matthew, I believe it is,
Yeah.
he said, out of the hardness of your heart. Jesus never intended for there to be divorce. Divorce is a last resort for the
It
married
is.
couple.
It should be, yeah.
So it's not that God wanted divorce to take place anyway. The issue is man has made decisions that have been going against the marriage covenant, and that's what led to divorce. So it's not like Christians are just going out of their way to divorce. The issue is there is being...
I never said that. I don't. This is all straw man.
No.
I'm not. What I'm saying is that
Adultery.
not every Christian
Yeah.
or not every Muslim is an ideal Muslim or a Christian.
That's-
Okay.
that's-
So there are sinners amongst all religions and even non-religions.
Yes.
Yes. But this reality of the society that we live in
Yeah.
should have an option
Yeah.
for the man or the woman to get divorced
Yeah.
if there are valid reasons to get
Okay.
divorced. Unfortunately, Christianity doesn't provide that, other than very narrow list of reasons for divorce, and that all kind of falls under adultery.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
And I'm going to.
That's all I'm saying.
And you know what? I'm going to stick on that point because you know what? We live not by what man says. We live by the word of God. In the Bible, God is very
I agree.
particular.
I
Very
agree.
particular about
Yeah.
what he wants.
That's
us
why I
to
said.
do.
That's why I said Christianity shackles that woman,
No. He
not the
doesn't
society.
Shackle, it doesn't shackle
It is
the
the
woman.
Christianity
You know
which
that there
shackles
is
the
a
woman.
divorce in the Bible.
Second,
You know that there is one case of divorce in the Bible. Are you aware of it?
one case of divorce.
Yes. When God said, divorce that woman because she's a Philistine and she's not teaching her children the Hebrew way. And God permitted...
She was a Philistine. So what was the religion?
Hebrew.
Hebrew.
The
No.
Bible was
So
written
was she a
in Hebrew.
Jew?
So God, these women, no, she's a Philistine.
So she was not a Jew.
She was not a Jew.
So how did that marriage happen in the first place?
He,
Give me a second.
he broke the law.
So that marriage in the eyes of God wasn't even valid to start with. Forget about divorce.
But
The marriage is still the marriage.
no,
If a Jewish,
it can't be because the Bible says if you lie with a whore, you are one flesh. That's marriage.
so you're telling me.
So how can God
Wait. Are you telling me that a believer can marry a disbeliever?
They're not supposed to, but people do wrong things.
No. In the sight of God, is that marriage valid?
God says no. Don't
There you
do
go.
it.
So why are you even bringing the question of divorce in that case? The marriage itself was null and void from the very beginning. There is no question of divorce at all. The marriage is nullified already. When you marry a disbeliever, like you said, you cannot marry a disbeliever. So in the sight of God, that marriage itself is nullified.
I don't think you understand a word that you're talking about.
Are you leaving? Take care, bro.
Whatever you talk about,
I'm gonna go.
No problem. Take care. Thank you for your time.
You say it for sure, and
Why shouting? Calm down. No need to
and
shout.
you are a lot of self-believing.
Are you?
And yes, unfortunately, my English is not as good,
Yeah.
and my
Shouting won't help that.
Yeah,
Calm down.
but
What's your religion first? Are you a Christian?
I'm a Jewish.
In a Jewish, is a marriage valid between a Jew and a non-Jew?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Is that from the Torah? Or is that your own understanding?
No, it's in the Torah. There is not even a clue about it, and I will explain why. Because in the Torah there weren't Christians, there weren't Muslims, there were nothing. Because in the Torah,
That's why as a
there
Jews,
were
I didn't
only
ask that.
Jews.
Christian, Muslims.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So
once
it's
again,
not from the Torah. It's
Okay.
from people that came after this, and some of them believe.
So it's not from
that-
God then. Do you
that
agree?
Some of them believe that they know what God thinks.